longer you live, the more you will realize that the only things that truly exist in this reality are merely pain, suffering, and futility.
Despite her often enigmatic and cruel actions, Makima's relationship with Chainsaw Man, specifically Denji, remains one of the most intriguing facets of her character. In light of recent developments in Chainsaw Man Part 2, Makima's motivations throughout Part 1 are re-examined, casting her in a surprisingly heroic light in comparison to her sisters. The looming appearance of the Death Devil within 6 months demands an unprecedented level of strength from both the Chainsaw Devil and the War Devil. To achieve this formidable power, they must instill fear into the hearts of the human populace. Unleashed upon the streets of Japan, a horde of mindless Chainsaw Devil hybrids wreak havoc, transforming the once semi-peaceful nation into a scene of utter pandemonium. The combination of casualties inflicted by Fami and Barin far surpass anything that we have seen Makima done in the past from a numbers perspective. And I guess you could make a moral argument. While Makima's actions have been ruthless and to an extent disregardful of innocent life just as her sister, it is worth considering that the individuals she targeted were either devil hunters or hybrids directly under her authority, as evident by their attire, or convicted criminals serving life sentences. Given Makima's peculiar affection for humanity, comparing that of humans to animals, she might perceive her actions as a form of mercy, sparing them from a prolonged and miserable existence behind bars. Makima's ultimate goal is world peace, even if her methods are extreme and involve the manipulation exploitation of Denji and his friends. Unlike her sister Famine, who seeks only death, Makima desires to eliminate the concept of famine and war altogether, which she believes are the root cause of human suffering. To achieve this, she recognizes the need to control the Chainsaw Devil, the most powerful devil in existence, hailed as the hero of hell, being able to devour devils and erase them from existence. Makima's approach is far less ruthless than that of her sisters, objectively speaking, as she isn't willing to sacrifice innocent lives so readily. However, both sides go for a sacrifice the few for the sake of the many concept. In Makima's case, that few is far less than what Famine has been doing. All in all, this echoes a utilitarian philosophy, that of one Kiritsugu Emiya, the main protagonist of Fate Zero, whom grapples with the weight of heroism and moral implications of sacrificing lives. Makima's actions, though unintentional, carry similar weight and raise questions about her motivations and her as a character. In layman's term, Makima was the lesser of two evils. It reminds me of the season finale of Loki's first season, in which Loki and Sylvie confront He Who Remains, the enigmatic creator of the Time Variance Authority, or the TVA for short. He reveals that his role is to maintain the sacred timeline, a carefully cultivated path through time that ensures the stability of the wider MCU multiverse. To preserve this delicate balance, He Who Remains prunes out troublesome timelines and recruits individuals from those timelines to work for the TVA, erasing their memories in the process. Evil stuff. While this may seem like a drastic measure, and it is, He Who Remains explains that it is a necessary evil. Without his intervention, the sacred timeline would unravel, leading to the rise of far more dangerous variations of himself, known as Kang the Conqueror. These variants would wage a devastating war across the multiverse, destroying the peace and balance He Who Remains has fought so hard to establish. Just like He Who Remains, Makima's presence in the story was instrumental. She also achieved one of her key goals, the eradication of guns through the elimination of the Gun Devil. While Makima's absence has granted Denji relative peace and revitalization of devil hunting as a whole by removing the overarching threat of the Control Devil being a superior, it has also paved the way for the emergence of her weaker yet still formidable sisters, Fami and Yoru, leading to the dire situation the characters face today. The threat of the Death Devil and the Chainsaw Man war. The characters' embodiments themselves position Makima as the lesser evil, juxtaposing control against war and famine, a deliberate choice, I believe. While Makima's methods raise ethical concerns, they resonate with the long-standing debate of individual freedom versus societal harmony. Take Mamoru Uchiha, for instance, and his plan to cast the infinite Tsukuyomi. On one hand, the populace would live happy lives, free of of war, death, hunger, hatred, but on the other hand, they're robbed of their free will, being placed in an illusion. In contrast, war and famine, unlike Makima's quest for control, offer no valid justifications. War brings no benefits, only desolation and despair. Famine serves no purpose but to inflict suffering and death. They embody the principle of senseless suffering, devoid of any redeeming qualities. Makima's ideal world, ironically, is a controlled, sterile environment, a hypothetical Garden of Eden, a paradise on Earth, where humans never hunger, fight, or die, paradoxically elevating them to Makima's level, akin to almost immortal godhood. In essence, Makima isn't a hero. While her actions could be seen as misguided attempts to achieve a greater good, her presence in the story ultimately caused harm to the main characters, particularly Denji and those closest to him. This stems from her ulterior motive of forming a lasting bond with the Chainsaw Devil, a goal she could have achieved if she approached Denji as an individual rather than a tool. While she has shown some glimpses of understanding Denji's humanity during their shared movie watching marathon, it was not enough to prevent the tragic consequences of her actions. This could change with Nayuta's presence in Denji's life, potentially filling that void left by Makima herself. And if you want more of my thoughts on Makima and Nayuta, check out this video I did on the pair a while back. Tatsuki Fujimoto's ability to bring new context to older aspects of the story is truly remarkable. This ability was evident in part 1 and has continued to shine through in part 2, breathing new life into even the earliest of chapters. It's a testament to the incredible level of care and thought that Fujimoto has poured into Chainsaw Man, and it leaves me constantly engaged and surprised. I can't wait to see how many more pieces of the puzzle fall into place once part 2 is completed and readers are able to revisit the story from the beginning. With that being said, this is where I wrap this video up. I know it was much of a shorter one, but honestly, I can't wait to see what the future for Chainsaw Man holds. If you enjoyed anything I had to say, please feel free to subscribe if you like more content like this. If you want to take that support a step further, I do have a Patreon, and if you want something a little bit different, feel free to check out my recent video where I talk about the Persona 4 character designs and why I believe that they are genius. And stay tuned for my next video where I tackle Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, and honestly, I can't wait to dig into that. This is Grim Toki, this has been Beyond Animation, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.